Do you want to save money when you're buying your home? I'm sure you do. Here are 4 ways that you can save money the next time you go to try to buy a home. What's up, guys? Jade Rowe here with the Living in Minneapolis channel. Thank you for stopping by. We're gonna get right into this. I know people are curious about how to save money when you are buying your home. This is something that I want to talk about for a while. It's been on my heart. There's a lot of different ways to do this, things that maybe people don't always think about, but the market's heating up. It's getting stronger. It's only going to get stronger as we go through different seasons, but there's always going to be competition out there. So usually, you save up money for your down payment. You are going to connect with a real estate agent. You're going to connect with your loan officer, and then you're going to go out and get set up on a search and go look for homes. Most agents, like myself, even included, are going to set you up on an active and coming soon search. These are properties that are currently active or currently coming soon to the market. Well, strategy number 1 is those are not the only properties that actually are for sale. There were properties that were for sale maybe 30, 60, 90 days, 120 days before you began your search. So and this is something that I like to do for my clients, is there are canceled and expired listings. These are listings that were for sale. They didn't sell because maybe they were just overpriced at the time. Maybe the sellers needed to do a little bit of work. Maybe the sellers went through a little bit of a life season. For whatever reason, they took it off the market. But these houses are still probably within reason, priced properly. Usually some of them are in really good shape. And if they listed now, they would for sure sell. But for whatever reason, they just didn't. So what we like to do is we like to actually call, once we know kind of your search area, we call for canceled and expired listings and say, hey, we have a buyer that's looking for homes in your area. We saw that you guys were listed 30 days ago. They weren't actually listed for sale at that point, but now, they are really looking and your home isn't for sale. What's kind of going on? What's your guys' plan? Would you guys still want to sell the home because we have somebody lined up? And I've seen awesome deals happen with this for both that seller and for our clients. We just had one recently where a guy was looking for a triplex, right? Called this triplex that had expired. I thought it looked really good on paper. It just wasn't marketed kind of correctly. We called him, said, hey, we have a buyer. Are you still interested in selling? He goes, yes, I still want to sell it. I'm really motivated. So got our guy in there. He liked it right away. We put together an offer. We negotiated a little bit back and forth, and we ended up getting that client of ours under contract with this seller, and we ended up actually closing it. So everybody was pumped. It was fantastic. And that's just something to consider and think about, is there were properties that probably did fit your criteria that were on the market but didn't sell for whatever reason. We have to go and look at those and consider those, because then if you're calling and talking to those sellers that are doing that, you as a buyer are getting access to properties that no one else is getting access to, because no one's thinking about that. They're only thinking about properties that are active and current right now, not properties that were gonna be or were for sale 30 or 60 days ago. Strategy number 2, understanding average days on market. Different price points, different areas, different suburbs are gonna have different average days on market. And average days on market is the time from when a home is listed for sale to when it gets an accepted offer, right? Super hot areas, St. Louis Park, Edina, places where a lot of my clients just seem to tell me that's where they want to go. Those places are going to have shorter average days on market. A property goes up for sale, and by the time it goes from sale to pending with a pending contract, that's a really short time frame. Other areas that maybe aren't as desirable or higher price points in the $1 million plus or even close to $1 million, that's going to be a longer average days on market. So something that we like to do is actually set up a secondary search. You have your active search, you have your coming soon search. We're calling for expireds and canceled just in case there is one out there. And then we set up an older search that are just for properties that have been on the market for, over 30 days or over 21 days, depending on whichever suburb or area of the city that you're looking in. And these are properties where the seller is probably getting a little tired of showing their home. They're probably getting a little nervous about, is my home actually going to sell? We have this home that we want to buy that's still in the market, or we have plans to move. what is this kind of gonna look like? We're getting a little nervous. And then we can go in and say, hey, we like the home. You know, there's sometimes maybe something a little quirky about the home, but not always. Sometimes these are just kind of overpriced, or maybe they weren't marketed properly, or whatever the case may be, or there's something that you can overlook, right? We have way more room for negotiation though. Hey, that property's been in the market for 30 days, you have no offer. We want to come in $20,000 under list price, or $25,000 under list price, and see if we can get a deal done. Just had one that came up like this, where the client was looking for properties, kept going to multiple offers, and then we found one that was on the market for 14 days, which was actually a lot in this pocket of Minneapolis. And we went and looked at it right away, realized that it only had a 1-stall garage, and there was a couple corners in the house that were just kind of tight and quirky. But these guys, these were first-time buyers, and for them, it was perfect. It was an absolute perfect location. They didn't care about the smaller basement. They didn't care about the quirky corners. They didn't care about the 1-car garage, because everything else was updated and ready to go. We made an offer, got it under list price, got some of their closing costs paid for by the seller. It was a slam dunk win for them. And that came from their search, where a property, once it hit 14 days, it popped up, and it was still in another search too, but you didn't have to sift through as much. So it came up 14 days and boom, that was a house we checked out right away, and they were super pumped. Strategy number 3, don't overlook crappy photos, all right? Overlooking crappy photos is something people do all the time. They're going to see a home that just looks awful from the outside, or the photos are not bright, they're kind of faded, but they look kind of nice on the inside. Just the photos are bad. They're bad angles. You know, there's not much listing info. Maybe there's no inside photos. Let's be honest, sellers and real estate agents can be lazy. We're not all created equally. As a real estate agent and as a seller, you're not all created equally. Some people put more effort and more investment into selling their home, others don't. I've seen hidden gems happen where the photos look awful, but then you walk in and you're like, this is really nice. The photos just did not make the property look as nice as it should be, or actually really is, right? All the time you hear people say, oh, the photos made that place look way better than it actually is, which is true. A lot of good agents and good sellers are gonna put effort into making their property look better than it actually is. But there are those instances where a property has crappy photos. You should still go check it out. You should still send it to your agent so that you can get an idea on, hey, is there something wrong with it, or is it just bad photos? Because the photos, yes, are bad, but the actual trim, the paint, the finishes, that kind of stuff seems like it would actually be nicer and could work for us. But other people aren't looking at it because the photos are so bad. Don't overlook those. Again, this is a way where you're gonna have probably more room for negotiation, because these ones have been on the market for a lot longer, and not as many people are gonna be going and looking at those homes because the photos are worse. And then you don't have to get into a bidding war and have just a better experience of buying versus having to go way over list price and do all of this battle and negotiation. You can go in at list price, slightly under list price, and get a home that you are super pumped about that other people were overlooking. Quick break here. If you are finding this video valuable, please just hit that like button. Leave a comment below on if you think these are good tips, if you think these are horrible tips. I'm open to any feedback. If you think that I should make a video about something else, leave me a comment. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be great, so that we can just get more people viewing my videos and I can produce better and more higher quality content. Also, if you are moving from out of state or moving within the state of Minnesota, I would love to help you. My name and number and email will be down below on the screen. You can hit me up anytime, and I would love to just be a resource for you and see if I can help you. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to strategy number 4, looking at tenant occupied properties. All right, there's a lot of investors in Minnesota, a lot of people that are trying to sell properties with tenants that are currently in the property. If this is the case, these properties always sell for less because the properties are harder to get access to. You need to give 24-hour notice. Sometimes they are a little bit dirtier because tenants don't generally take as well of a care as a property than an actual owner. And they might have a lease that's, not gonna be over for the next 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 months, all right? I've again seen and had clients buy tenant occupied properties. We get in there, we do the 24-hour notice. Property's actually fantastic. It's bigger than what they were expecting, but it does need some fresh paint, maybe some fresh carpet, but nothing crazy, maybe $5,000 and you can get into a really, really nice home. But the price point is lower because the tenants are in there, and these guys then offered and closed in 30 days and then actually kept the tenants for another 30 days and got rent from the tenants, and then the tenants moved out and they moved in. So tenant occupied properties can be an awesome option as well to consider and look at, because a lot of people are just overlooking them. They think, I don't want to buy a rental property, the thing is run down, it's probably all these issues, the things that need $10, $15, $20,000 to fix up. Tenants are probably ruining the place, or who knows, they might move out. I mean, there's a lot of risks that that people run through their mind that don't happen that often. So I would highly consider this, especially if you're not trying to get into a bidding war, which most people don't want to get into a bidding war. No one comes to me and says, hey Jade, I want to buy a property and I want to get in a bidding war. No one wants that. We always want to avoid that. I want to avoid that, right? So this is an option to look at those homes that are tenant occupied, still awesome properties, meet your criteria, but they're harder to get access to. They're usually a little bit rougher shape, and you can totally win and have way more room for negotiation and a better buying experience. All right, so that's our 4 ways to save money when buying a home. All right, totally consider these strategies. They're a total game changer and can help you out when you are looking to buy that home. Again, all I ask for is that you leave a comment or like the video. That would be awesome. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me anytime. I'm an open book and would love to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.